Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to be starting, which is all about getting that platinum goodness. And today we're just going to be talking about the platinums that I have obtained during my trophy hunting time, which has not been that long, I won't lie. I've accumulated 45 platinums in total since I had a PlayStation, which was back on the PlayStation 4 when that first came out. That's where I started going for all of these platinums and stuff. I haven't gained a lot over that time. There was a time where I basically just stopped worrying about platinums and things, but very recently I got massively back into it and started having an amazing time doing it. So I thought, what better way than to start off a new series about this. I was inspired by these three channels that you are now seeing on screen, so if you want to go and check them out, I highly recommend them. If you love watching people get platinums, or if you're just like a platinum or trophy hunter yourself, I highly recommend these three channels. They're absolutely awesome. I really enjoy watching their content, and they're always an absolute pleasure to watch and just experience what it's like to go through them. So I thought, why not? I'm going to give a series like that a go, and this is going to be that. So for the first episode, which is this, we're just going to be checking out the trophies that I have acquired, the 45 platinum trophies that I have acquired, and then I'll maybe go over and let you guys know some of the platinums that I'm going for currently, and then in the future it'll basically just be singular videos where we'll go over all of these different platinums and just talk about the games, talk about my experience platinum them. Did I have fun with it? Did I hate it? Was it an awful time? Was it a great time? I don't know. We'll just see where this takes us, I guess. But I'm really excited to start this series. It's definitely going to be a passion project for myself. Yeah, so, I mean, without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure you grab yourself a hot drink, whether it be tea like myself, because I am truly British and that's all we drink, or whether it be a hot chocolate, a coffee, or even a cold drink. Whatever you fancy, grab it. And let's get into this. Right then, so here we are. I'm using PSN profiles, mainly because I actually really like this site. It's a really easy way to track kind of the trophies and your progress in games and things. And yeah, we're going to go over all the platinums that I've obtained so far. Again, there are 45 of them, and then I'll tell you guys about some of the platinums that I am currently working on, and they will have singular videos on themselves as we go. Now, because there's 45 of these, I don't think I'm going to go into detail about all of them, but of course there will be a couple of highlights that we'll talk about, we'll get into, and it'll be a great time. So without further ado, let's get into this list. So we're going to start at the bottom of the list. So basically, as far as I'm aware, this order is basically the first platinum that I got at the bottom, and then, you know, they'll increase as time goes on. So the first two platinums, as you can see, are two Telltale platinums. They're the easiest platinums imaginable to get, except for, you know, the garbage fire that you can get. That's basically just press one button and you'll get it. I promise there are a couple of them. I mean, you can see two right here that we will talk about. But yes, let's get into this. So the first one was The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, the first two that I got. Walking Dead took me 4 months and 2 weeks. Back then, again, it was kind of one of those things that I didn't really like go out of my way to try and get platinums. I basically just played them as they came out, and I believe I actually played this one as it was being released. I'll be honest, it's a classic game. I highly recommend it. If you haven't played the Walking Dead Telltale series, the first original series, go and play it. It is a fantastic game to play. Game of Thrones is next. I'll be honest, this series was fucking awful. Telltale, this was started at the time where Telltale started to go downhill. They were kind of rushing games out of the door, trying to get as many as they could out IP-wise. And I'll be honest, there's a reason that this platinum is classed as rare, and not even 20% of people that have played this game have managed to complete it and get the platinum. Again, it's literally just playing through each episode and getting through it, but I'll be honest, this one was a slog, hence why it took me a year and 6 months. I think that's because, if we look in here, yeah, I played the first episode and I absolutely despised it. I started the next, I think I started the next episode but never really finished it, and then I came back over a year later to try and attempt the platinum just to get it done and finished. Next one is Sleeping Dogs, probably one of my favourite platinums that I own. It's genuinely one of my favourite games. 2 weeks and 5 days to get platinum. I honestly don't think it takes that long, but again, at the time I wasn't exactly trying to get platinums. But yeah, I love this game. This game is amazing. I 100%ed it, went out of my way to get all the DLC trophies as well, because genuinely it is a joy to play. A fantastic game and a fantastic platinum to go for. I highly recommend people do it. Next one is Far Cry Primal. We obviously got the platinum for this and 100%ed it. Generally, I think this was probably one of my favourite Far Cry games that's ever been released. I really enjoyed playing it, and it was an absolute joy to play from start to finish. It was a completely different take on the formula as well, which is something that I personally really enjoyed. An easy platinum. You can get it probably a lot quicker than I did the 3 months and 2 weeks it took me. Saints Row 4 re-elected. We got that in a month and 3 weeks. I personally love Saints Row, the series. We will be talking about the remake very soon. But I genuinely really enjoyed this series. I love 2, I love 3, I love 4. I even enjoyed Get Out of Hell. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy that, but personally myself, I did enjoy it. This was the first Saints Row game that I platinumed. I even went out of my way to get the 100% by going for the DLCs, because again, it was a fantastic game and I really, really enjoyed being able to go around. I will say this much, probably, it's kind of the same thing for all of them. But I believe in this one, yeah, completing all the challenges, that's probably the most grindy trophy out of them all, hence the low percentage completion for it. But honestly, a fun game to play, a really enjoyable one, and a fairly rare trophy as well, an ultra rare platinum. I'm shocked at that personally myself, like it's not a hard platinum to get, but yeah, good one to play. The Wolf Among Us, again, fantastic Telltale game that was made. I love this. I'm glad they're making a second one, and it's going to be coming out hopefully this year. I really love this game. I've gone back and played this game multiple times as well, despite the fact of finishing it. I just really enjoy the story to it. I think they did a fantastic job of bringing it to life as well, and that's something that I was genuinely really excited to get into. The next one we've got is The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. I'll be honest, probably the weakest out of all of the Walking Dead series. A New Frontier, I did not like this game. This game was, in my opinion, probably one of the worst games Telltale have ever put out. Again, this came out in 2016. This was at the time where they were pushing so many different IPs at once. It was an absolute dumpster fire. And I gotta be honest, this game deserves the title of Stinky.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Next one is Tales from the Borderlands. This one, weirdly enough, took me 2 years and 10 months, which I find very odd, but I think it's because, yeah, if we look, it was one of those things, again, where I finished episode 1 when it first came out, and then I just didn't come back to the game for a couple of years. But again, Tales from the Borderlands, a fantastic Telltale series, genuinely one of their better series as well. I'd probably put Wolf Among Us first, and then Telltale Borderlands second, and then third, The Walking Dead Season 1. I love all three of those games fucking wholeheartedly, but I'll be honest, this one, for whatever reason, just, it was so much fun to play through. The story was great, the characters were awesome, the writing was actually stellar, and yeah, it was just a fun platinum. Watch Dogs 2, again, a 95% completion. I didn't go for the 100%. I think it was because of this one. I couldn't be bothered to try and get the maximum win streak in Showdown. Again, multiplayer trophies are just not my thing. I believe Showdown was a multiplayer thing for the game. I don't know why I never finished off the hook. That's a really easy one to go back and do. I could do it, but again, I've got the platinum for it. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 1, and I enjoyed Watch Dogs 2 as well. I've not played Legion yet. I do have it. I have heard bad things about it, so I'm kind of hoping that maybe I'll experience a different game, but I mean, it's unlikely. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing through Watch Dogs 2. It was a fantastic game. I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the characters. There were a few things I kind of wish that they had brought from the first game, mostly the protagonist, Aiden, from the first game. I believe his name was Aiden. Yeah, I kind of wish that they had kind of carried his story on and not switched it, but I understand why they did. It was still a fun game. I really enjoyed it, and a fantastic platinum to go through, especially when you're having fun with the game. The next one we got is Far Cry 3, the Classic Edition. Again, a really easy platinum to get. I got it in 2 weeks and 4 days. Far Cry games are notoriously easy for their platinums. They're really not that difficult. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Far Cry 3 game. I played it on my Xbox 360 back when it first came out. I also played Blood Dragon on there as well. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this game. It was fantastic. It was an absolute blast to go back through it again. However, I do think it's sad that they've never updated the formula from this game, as I feel like it's kind of brought Far Cry 3 down a bit. Because let's face it, when they made Far Cry 3, they hit gold. They managed to find a formula that really, really works. And unfortunately, they've not really done anything to it to really update it, except light RPG mechanics, which, let's face it, they're not even light RPG mechanics. They're kind of so, yeah, bit of a shame that the series has kind of gone to the but I really, really enjoyed this game, and I would recommend people, if you haven't played a Far Cry game, start with number 1, because Far Cry Primal is a fantastic game. Far Cry 2, bit dated now, and probably not my favourite. Again, Far Cry 3 I would say is my favourite. Definitely there's a system in Far Cry 2 where you have to take malaria tablets. It can really screw you over at times, but Far Cry 3 they hit an absolute diamond, and I highly recommend people go and check this out and play it and platinum it, because it is a genuinely enjoyable experience. Next one is Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man on PS4. Weirdly enough, I haven't 100%ed this one. I have got the PS5 platinum for this as well, and I have 100%ed it. I think at the time the reason I never went back to 100% this was not because I didn't enjoy the game. Again, a fantastic Sony exclusive game that they made. It's obviously on PC now as well, so I mean I can only imagine how fun it is to play on PC, especially with better fidelity and frame rates and stuff. But yeah, an absolutely phenomenal game, and an absolute joy to platinum as well. Again, not a hard platinum, but a fun one, and that's kind of what you're going to notice through my platinums, is that they're fun and easy, and they are just genuine experiences that I had a great time with. Okay, so now we get on to kind of my, unless you class the Telltale games as a stinky, I mean, I personally wouldn't say they were stinky, but they're definitely easy platinums. But my first stinky platinum, my name is Mayo.
Uh-oh, stinky.
An absolute treat to play. Literally, we're just tapping a jar of mayo, and that's how you get the platinum. It's super easy. It takes less than an hour to do. You could probably get it done in 20 minutes, if I'm being completely honest, if you've got a really good rhythm tapping that X button. Yeah, but just as a meme, I love the game. I don't know why I do, but I just love all the jokes and the crap. And yeah, it is an absolute crappy platinum to get, but I gotta be honest, I had fun playing it, and that's all that matters to me. So now here we come to Minecraft. Now when I platinumed Minecraft, I had a lot of help from a good friend of mine who I was dating at the time. And she did a fantastic job. She managed to get the platinum before I did. She did all the work, and I did cheese it a bit. I got a lot of help from her to get the platinum. And yeah, you know, but I have recently gone back. I say recently, probably in the last, I don't know, 2 years or something. And I did, this was the one that I got the most help with, which was gather all 16 colours of wool. It's just basically a very big grind. But again, you can get this platinum done fairly quickly. It doesn't take a long time at all. It's fairly easy to get it. Obviously now to get the 100%, there's so much more stuff that they've added, and so much more stuff to go through. And I have been interested to kind of look into that, so maybe that's something I can talk about in the future if I manage to get the 100% for this game, which I'll be honest is a tall order to ask, but if I can, maybe I'll talk about that in the future. Okay, the next one we're on is Batman the Telltale series. Now, the first series of the Batman Telltale series, I really enjoyed. Personally, myself, I thought it was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the characters. I know some people are very hit or miss on this one. I don't think everyone really enjoyed it as much as, like, Telltale were kind of hoping. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the first series was really fun. It was really enjoyable. It was cool to see all the detective stuff that you had to do as Batman. I do think some of the choices in it were not as strong as kind of The Walking Dead, Tales from the Borderlands, that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely a fun platinum and definitely a fun game to play through. I highly recommend the first series. The next one we've got is Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't got the 100% for PS4, but I did go through all of the DLCs and I did get them. The only thing I need to do is play through the game on New Game Plus and Ultra Hard. I was originally going to do that, but the PS4 I had at the time ended up, the hard drive ended up being corrupted and dying on me. I lost my save, and at the time I had just platinumed it, and I didn't really fancy going through the entire game again just to go through it a second time in a row then. This is one that I want to go back and I want 100%, maybe in the future. We will be talking about Horizon Forbidden West as well, as I got the platinum for that, and I will be giving my opinions. But I do highly recommend Horizon Zero Dawn. A very fun game, very enjoyable platinum, and a very enjoyable story and characters and just world to explore as well. It was so unique and amazing at the time, and I highly recommend people go and play this if you haven't. Okay, the next one we got was My Name is Mayo 2.
Stinky.
Yeah, not too long after I got the first one, I decided to get the second one. This is something I'm also going to talk about at the end of this video on these kind of stinky platinums. But yeah, no, again, My Name is Mayo 2, not much more to say on it other than what you'd heard from My Name is Mayo 1. Yeah, just an easy platinum, and if you're kind of into the meme games, I'd say My Name is Mayo is a good series to go with. And then we come to Astro's Playroom. Oh, what an absolute pleasure. This game was a phenomenal time. I haven't gone for the speedrun stuff kind of not my thing. I'm not a fan of speedrun trophies personally. I don't like speedruns. They're not my thing. I think people that can do them are incredibly talented and clearly put a lot of time in. These speedruns, I'm fairly certain, are pretty easy to get. They're not like the speedrun of 7 minutes or under. It's really not that hard, but I'm just, again, it's not my thing. But yeah, when I got my PS5, immediately on day one, this was like done. Oh no, it wasn't. It took me 5 days. Wow. I guess I just spread it over 5 days then. But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this game. Myself and my friend Sean, who does the podcast with me, you know, we both played this at the same time and just had a great experience playing through it. A genuine joy. Then we come to Batman: The Enemy Within, the second Batman series from Telltale. And I gotta be honest, I really didn't like this game.
Stinky.
I really wanted to like it since I enjoyed the first one so much, but I gotta be honest, this game stinks. It is probably one of the worst Telltale games that they made. Half of the decisions you make really don't do they don't matter. A lot of the time I'd make a choice and the opposite thing would happen, and I'm like, what? So, yeah, a really stinky game. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't recommend people playing the second series because they absolutely butchered the good faith that they had from the first series. Yeah, not a fun platinum, not a fun game. Then we come to Hellblade... I always mess the name up. Senua's Sacrifice? I hope I've said that right. And this is going to be quite diversive. I didn't like this game. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was a very unique take and a very interesting way to show kind of mental health issues and stuff through the game. I praise the developers for doing that. The game is absolutely gorgeous. But for me, I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't a game that I could invest like 100% of my time and energy into. It wasn't not an enjoyable platinum, but I just personally didn't connect with the game and couldn't get into it. I've had friends tell me that, you know, that's such a strange opinion to have with this game. But yeah, I couldn't get into it, man. It wasn't something for me. I won't probably play the second one, but I'll definitely be looking at people that have played through it and platinumed it, and enjoying their videos on it and kind of seeing their experiences from it. But yeah, it was just a game I couldn't get into, man. Maybe if I went back and played it now, maybe I'd have more fun with it. I platinumed it last year. Not last year, sorry, we're in 2023 now, but in 2021, at the beginning of the year, I managed to platinum it. But yeah, man, I don't know, I just couldn't connect with it. Okay, the next one we've got is Evil Inside. Again, a very, very easy platinum game to get. It's one of those cheap sort of horror walking simulator games. I'm personally a massive fan of these games. I really enjoy them. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of platinums early on that are very, very common and easy to get. But I actually kind of enjoyed this game from what I remember. I don't remember a lot from it, I won't lie. But genuinely, I had a good time doing it. It was fun. You know, it was a fun experience to go through. A few little jump scares here and there. Personally, I'm a huge fan of horror, regardless if they're crappy horror games or not. I genuinely had fun with this one, and I don't know if I'd recommend it, because it is, you know, crap, and it is kind of like an easy platinum, but yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. The next one we've got is Control. Now, as you can see, we've got two controls in a row here. This the PS5 version took me 4 days and 35 minutes, and that's because I actually ported over my save from the PS4 version before I'd actually platinumed it. So yeah, I went through and I platinumed. I think I had a couple of trophies left. It wasn't too many from my recollection, I don't think. Or did I actually play through this all in one? No, I managed to get it done in 4 days. I think I didn't. Did I not port over my? I think I did port over my save. I must have, right? I don't know. I'm not seeing kind of like obvious timestamps that would say maybe I didn't port over the save. I mean, look, I didn't hate Control for what it was. I was kind of more hoping for an Alan Wake 2 before we got a new IP from them. But personally myself, I couldn't get into Control. I tried my absolute best. Me and my mum adore Alan Wake, so we decided to play through Control together as well. And it just, I don't know, we couldn't connect with it. Again, not a hard platinum to get, but I don't know, I couldn't connect with this. I have played through the Altered World events, which is obviously the Alan Wake crossover. We'll talk about that in the other Control one, which is my other platinum for the PS4 that we got. But I did play through the DLCs. I didn't decide to go for 100% completion because, I don't know, I just didn't like this game as much as I thought I would. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't connect with it. I think the physics in it and the idea behind it was very, very cool. I just couldn't get into like the sort of storytelling that they went for, I couldn't connect with it. It wasn't something that I enjoyed. I'll be honest, I hated the main protagonist of the game. I couldn't stand her, and no, it's not because she was a woman. It's just because I genuinely didn't enjoy her character. I didn't like her personality. I didn't like how she acted. Like, nothing in my mind connected me to the character, and I think that's a big reason why I couldn't enjoy this game. But as you can see, it's a very popular game. A lot of people love it, and that more power to them for it. So the next one we've got is Cat Quest. Again, a very, very, very easy platinum to get, but honestly, a fantastic and enjoyable game. This platinum took me 4 days and 3 hours. I'll be honest, I liked this game. I had a great time playing this game, and it was really fun. It had no right being as enjoyable as it was. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I do recommend people play Cat Quest. It's a fun game. It's an easy platinum if you want to go for, like, if you're just starting off in trophy hunting and things. It's an easy platinum to kind of get you going. It's a little bit grindy at times, but honestly, it's an easy platinum. You can get it in 6 or 7 hours, I reckon. I think I'm just very slow when it comes to playing to games, and I can't sit down and play a game for like 10 hours in one go. I like to have like 2 or 3 hour sessions, and then I'll come off and play something else or watch something, you know. But genuinely a fun game. I recommend it. Okay, so the next one we've got is Concrete Genie. Now, this took me a month and a week. I think it's because I took a break halfway through, but honestly, I absolutely adore this game. I do have PlayStation VR, but I just didn't go in to 100% it. I didn't really fancy it. I'm not a massive fan of the PlayStation VR. It makes me sick. So I'm hoping VR2 will be better, and maybe I'll get that towards the end of this year. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. It was a massively enjoyable game. I love the art style. I love the way the storytelling was. I love the interactions around the world that you can have, and painting everything and having like all your friends that are painted and stuff. An absolutely beautifully made game, and I had an amazing time with it, and I absolutely loved every second of this game. And the next one is Dying Reborn.
Stinky.
Now, this one took me 3 years and 4 months and 2 days to finish, and I'll tell you for why. I believe it was because I had a glitch. Now, apparently this glitch is quite common, where trying to find all of the collectibles and stuff. I eventually came back to it and just used a guide, but I'll be honest, I hate this game. It is absolute garbage. I didn't enjoy it. If you enjoyed it when you played it, good for you. It's awful. It's absolute garbage. I wouldn't recommend this game. The next one is In Rays of Light. Again, you're going to see a lot of these easy platinums, but it's basically another walking simulator. But this one has probably one of the most boring ones that I do. Now, I don't do the rubber band technique. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, if, for instance, a walking simulator or a game has walk X amount of a distance, they'll normally just put like a rubber band on the 2 analog sticks together, and it'll just keep your character basically walking in a circle. It's a really ingenious way to do really grindy, annoying trophies, but I physically walked the 5 kilometers, and it was the most boring I've ever done in my life. But other than that, I actually kind of thought this was okay. Again, it's one of those kind of shovelware, you know, ones. There's not really much of a story. It's just, hey, do these trophies and have fun. An easy platinum to get, and again, not one that I'm proud of. Okay, so the next one we've got is A Plague Tale: Innocence. Now, I was not a fan of this game, hence why I'm not going to be playing the second one. I understand why people loved this game and they enjoyed it, but for me, I couldn't get into it. I'm not a big stealth guy. I do feel like, however, now, I did platinum this in 2021 in December, and I managed to get the platinum in 1 month and 1 week. Now, I think that's because I took a break in between. I started it in November, finished it in December, just before my birthday. But, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get into it, right? I didn't like... I'll be honest, I didn't mind the main characters. I didn't hate them or anything. He just annoyed me. From start to finish, he just annoyed me. And I'm not saying that's anything on the writing's part or anything like that. I honestly think the game looks beautiful, and I think they did a fantastic job making the game. It just wasn't a game that I enjoyed or could connect with. But I do recommend people go and play this game, because it is popular for a reason, and I think a lot of people will have fun. Would I say go for the platinum? I mean, you can do. It's a little bit of a grind. It's not nothing too major. I mean, to be fair, it's actually a very quick platinum. I imagine you could probably get it in a day or two if you really like just hammered out hours onto it. But yeah, I personally didn't enjoy the game. Doesn't mean you won't. I would say go and play it. The next one we got is, this is the most shameful platinum that I have on my entire platinum list. Slide.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Yeah, I'm not proud of this platinum, I won't lie.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not proud of this one. It's literally a 20-second platinum. You could probably get it in 15. You can literally just cheese this one. Do not play this game. I know a lot of people that try to get as many platinums as they can. This is one of the first ones they go for. It's such an easy platinum, and it is one that I am absolutely ashamed to have on my record. But there it is. I did platinum it, and yeah, not proud of it. Okay, the next one we've got is The Long Reach. Now, I don't know why, but I started playing this game, and then it took me 1 year and 3 months to get the platinum. Now, this is because I came back to it to actually platinum it. What a phenomenal game. Like, genuinely, I had an amazing time with it. Again, a really easy platinum. It's not hard at all. Won't take you that long. Will take you maybe, I don't know, 3-4 hours if you really wanted to. Yeah, I had fun with it. Again, it's a horror game. It's really cool art style. I never used to like the pixelated art style on games, but I've recently come to really love them, and this was genuinely one of the ones that I enjoyed so much. I absolutely recommend people go and play this one. You can pick it up for dirt cheap as well, and it is a fun game to play through. Okay, so the next one we've got is Marvel Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales as well. So obviously the remastered version, yeah, I nearly 100%ed this game. Again, the only thing I have to do is go back through the game on the ultimate difficulty on New Game Plus. Yeah, genuinely a fantastic game. Like I said earlier, phenomenal. Really easy platinum, but very fun to do. The next one, obviously, Miles Morales. Again, a game I really enjoyed, and I got the 100% for it. Genuinely a fun game, fun platinum. I highly recommend people go and play this one as well if you haven't. Again, I think this is also out on PC now, so I imagine it looks even better. Okay, after this, we've got The Division. This took me 6 years and 1 month. My God, The Division. Right, so I didn't really do any of the DLCs, but basically, when I started trophy hunting last year, which is when I started really trying to go for those trophies, myself and Sean were both very close to the platinum for this game. The only ones we were missing, I believe, were the multiplayer ones where you, yeah, here you go. So extract an item from all the extraction zones and successfully extract a contaminated item, as well as, I believe there's one for taking down... where is it? Craft a high-end item, no. I believe there's one for taking out like a certain amount of basically operators that are turned rogue in the multiplayer areas, and I'll be honest, myself and Sean, we helped, we cheesed it. It was really, really just one of those things that it's really hard to do if you don't have a friend to do it with, but yeah, absolutely loved The Division 1. It was a fantastic game in the end, and it's a shame what they've done to Div 2, which we will be talking about. The next one I got was Heal. Again, a very, very, very easy platinum to get. You literally just have to play through the game and you'll get it. There's only a couple of ones that are slightly missable. But yeah, it's really, really easy. It doesn't take long at all. Again, I got it done in 2 months simply because I think I played through the game once and then came back to it then when I started really getting into platinums. Again, I actually really enjoyed this game. I like the premise that they put behind it for the story, mainly because the story is kind of based around mental illness in elderly people, and I really connected with that at the time, as my granddad, who unfortunately passed away last year, suffered with dementia and Alzheimer's. So I was really able to connect with the story, and I just genuinely loved it. It was a fun game to play, and I'll be honest, I feel like I'm going to go back every year and probably play through it at least once or twice. The next one we got is Forbidden West. Now, we did say we were going to talk about this. Now, I haven't got 100% because I need to go through the game on New Game Plus and do all of that stuff. However, I won't be doing that. I didn't like this game. I'll be honest, it's too big, and this is a thing that will come up when we talk about AC Valhalla as well, but I feel like with open world games now, they've gone for size over quality, in my opinion, and for me, it's such a stupid decision. Like, why? If you have an enormous game, it does not make your game better. The puzzles in it are they are piss easy. I managed to get through them without them to look any of them up. That should tell you something, because I'm awful at puzzles. But yeah, I don't know, it was just too big of a game for me. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this game and had fun with it, but for me personally, I just didn't enjoy it. I'd much rather play the first game. Would I say people should go and play this? Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing PS5 experience. The game looks absolutely stunning, even on performance mode. It looks incredible, and I highly recommend people go and check it out. But dear God, I would be lying if I didn't say that I didn't enjoy this game at all. It's why it took me 5 months to do it, because I just had to keep taking breaks from the game. It was boring, repetitive, and just the same thing over and over. If you're not going for the platinum, you'll probably have a fun time, but to be honest, to go for the platinum is basically just playing through the game anyway, so you may as well go for it. Okay, so on to the next one, which is Tom Clancy's Division 2. Now, I've almost 100%ed this. The only thing I haven't done is finish the Iron Horse raid. It's the only thing I got to do. I did everything else in it, and I'll be honest, I f***ing adored this game. I pumped so many hours into this game. It was ungodly how many hours I put into it, and I was so infuriated with how the game has just been treated. Massive Entertainment have absolutely destroyed this game and ruined it. I gotta be honest, I'm really disappointed. You know, I was one of these people that when the seasons were coming out, when they first started them, I got them done in less than a day for the pass, and then just blasted through all the cool story stuff that they were bringing out as time went on. Myself and Sean, again, we did this together. The platinum took me 3 years, 4 months. Again, I think it was the multiplayer trophies, like specifically trying to get, yeah, here you go, hijack and extraction in any occupied dark zone. Myself and Sean kind of cheesed that, I won't lie. And then obviously, you know, the last one I did was take a photo of a group of 4 agents, which wasn't too bad to do, but it was a bit of a pain in the arse. But yeah, man, like, I'm so sad about how this game has just gone downhill. Again, a very ultra rare platinum. Less than 1% of people have got it, so I am proud of this platinum, despite, you know, having help from a friend. But that's just how you gotta do it sometimes. But yeah, I'm so sad with the state of the game right now and just how it's been treated, and I honestly hope that they do better in future. So the next one we have got is Dying Light 1. And again, a very, very ultra rare platinum. One that I am very proud of, but I adored Dying Light 1. It was a fantastic game, a fantastic experience. I enjoyed all the DLCs. I was awful at the Bozak Horde, so I never got any of these done. I would like to go back and attempt these, though, and maybe even attempt to get the 100%. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. It was a fantastic game. From what I remember, I think myself and Sean helped each other to get the multiplayer trophies that you need to get for the platinum, which I believe... Where was it? Yeah, complete 5 quests in a single co-op game with the same 3 partners. We did cheese this one, I won't lie. I used my PS4 to help, so we had another account. And yeah, it was genuinely an amazing game. A game that I have a lot of fun with. A game that holds a very special place in my heart. And yeah, I love it, and I'm very, very proud to have the platinum for this game. The next one we're going to talk about is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Again, an even rarer ultra rare platinum, and dear God, the reason it took me 4 years and 5 months to do this was literally two of the trophies, which took me forever, and I actually gave up on them for years, thinking I'd never get them. If I can find them here, that was this one: defeat 50 enemies using dual torpedoes with the bomber ship class. Again, not a hard one to do, just very grindy and takes time, but the singular one that nearly stopped me from getting the platinum: defeat 25 hero ships with fighter ships. My God, this one took me hours upon hours of grind to get. It was absolutely awful. If you want to go for the platinum for this game and the 100%, be prepared to be tested with your patience. A lot of people like to talk about how getting to like level 50, I believe that's reach rank 50 is one of the trophies. A lot of people talk about how awful the grind is for that. Honest to God, it was nothing compared to getting 25 specific kills on hero ships with fighter ships, because it only takes one person to get ahead of you and get that last shot off. It was absolute torture, but I love this game, and it was honestly a pleasure to play this game. The single player stuff is absolute, but I had a lot of fun playing this game and a lot of fun memories with it too. So yeah, as you can see, we're getting into more kind of ones that I'm proud of, and Returnal is no different. I've almost got the 100% for this. I'm going to go back and get the 100% for this, I think, because genuinely I absolutely adore this game. I'm not a Soulsborne type gamer. It's not my thing. I don't tend to enjoy being punished over and over and over. But yeah, I absolutely adored this game. I'm so proud that I got the platinum in 2 weeks and 2 days as well. an absolutely amazing experience. I highly recommend people go and play this. I know I don't know if it's out on PC now or if it's coming out. I believe it came out. I can't even imagine how great this game is on PC. Like, it must be absolutely phenomenal now. So yeah, I highly recommend people go and play this, and even go for the platinum. The most grindy thing about this platinum, though, was, dear God, getting all of the collectibles in this game, because every place is RNG based, so it's just luck on whether or not you're going to end up in a place where you need that final collectible, maybe. That was torture. But everything else in this game was absolute joy and fun. So I highly recommend people go and check it out. The next one we've got is Cyberpunk 2077. Let's talk about this one. So when I played Cyberpunk 2077, I played it after I had numbers of patches. Obviously this is the PS5 version that is platinumed, but I started playing the game on PS4. But something they don't tell you when you port your save over is any of the trophies you've got on PS4, you can no longer get on PS5. They don't pop. You have to go back through the game and get them. I had a couple in the beginning that I had to go back through and get after finishing all the other stuff, and there was one ending that I couldn't get because I was not aware. This one. Help Takamura avenge death of Sabu Arasaka. The only way I didn't realise there was a mission just before the final one where you have to save him and the game doesn't tell you to save Takamura. I didn't do that, so I got all the other endings and had to replay through the entire game because I saved so poorly just to get that one ending. Pain in the arse, but honestly, a really fun game. The game is now much better than obviously it was at launch. It wasn't what we were promised, of course, but it's had numerous patches, stuff coming out. There's DLC out for it now, I think, or it's coming out soon. And yeah, genuinely a very fun game. I highly recommend people go and play this now. Would I recommend going for the platinum? I mean, not unless you're willing to sit there and literally grind for hours. This game can be a right pain in the arse to get the platinum for. But genuinely, I'll be honest, it's actually a platinum I'm kind of proud of. So the next one is Minecraft Story Mode Season 1. This one took me 5 years and 5 months because I just didn't go back to it for ages. But yeah, I'll be honest, it's okay. The story is alright. Personally, myself, I enjoyed most of it. Again, a super ultra rare platinum, which should tell you something. Not a lot of people enjoyed this one, and I can understand why. Telltale really kind of started going downhill when they made, after making Minecraft Story Mode. It was kind of around the time they were just rushing IPs out to get as many done as possible. I am going to be playing through the second season, and I'm also going to be doing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy as well, so there'll be videos on them on this series. But yeah, just genuinely not the most fun game to play through. And yeah, would I recommend it? Probably not. The next one is Goat Simulator. Now I'm 57% completion with this. The only thing I've got is the platinum because I don't own any of the DLCs currently. But I'll be honest, what an absolute ball ache for one trophy. Score 10 points in Flappy Goat. This trophy took me an hour and a half of sitting there and grinding this game just to get 10 score points in Flappy Goat. But I'll be honest, is it a platinum I'm proud of? You're damn right it's a platinum I'm proud of. It's not a hard platinum to get. I'd say that is probably the hardest trophy you're going to encounter in this game. Finding all the collectibles and stuff like that, honestly, it's really not that hard to do, and it's not that difficult either, and it doesn't take that long, but that f***ing bird took me forever. You're going to notice also that a lot of these take a long time, and it's because, like I said, last year was kind of the year I started platinum like trophy hunting, so I went back and started to finish off some of my older games. But Goat Simulator, yeah, a genuinely fun platinum, and I would recommend it. The next one we've got is AC Valhalla. Yeah, it's let me make this clear. Look, the game is not a bad game necessarily, but personally, 140 hours to get the platinum for this game because the map is too big. It just is. It's too big. Again, it's the same problem that all of these open world games are starting to have. They are choosing size and repetitiveness over size and quality. You can have a smaller map. A perfect example of this, Yakuza games. Tiny maps, tons to do, but so fun and never boring. This game was a drag to platinum. It was an absolute torturous journey to go through, and I cannot imagine anybody being recommended to go for the platinum on this. Unless you really are okay with grinding for tens, and I mean tens and tens of hours, just to get maybe one trophy, do not go for the platinum on this. Just play the story and move on.
And now for something completely different.
The next one we've got is Operation Tango. Myself, again, and Sean managed to get the platinum for this. It took 1 year and 6 months because we took such a long break from it. We played it when it first came out, when it was free, and then we came back recently, just in December, to get the platinum for the game. Honestly, yeah, it's a really fun game. If you have a friend to play with, absolutely I would recommend playing this game with a friend. It's a lot of fun. It does require a bit of brain power occasionally, but honestly, it's a great game, and I had a great time playing it, and I'm sure Sean had a great time playing it as well. Although when we platinumed this game, we literally sat there for hours just trying to grind it out because we wanted to, and by the end of it we were both exhausted. But yeah, I would recommend playing this if you've got a friend to play it with. I wouldn't recommend looking for randoms because you never know what could happen then. Okay, and we come to the final 2 platinums that I have recently obtained. So I obtained the Saints Row the 3rd platinum. I basically had to go back through the game and just get the challenges done, pretty much, I believe it was. I think I had to finish Act 1 in another way, so I did that and then basically went for all the challenges. And I'll be honest, again, the only thing with this game that I would say, or with any of the Saints games for that matter, is the challenges is what drags, man. They are an absolute drag. And I'll be honest, the challenges in Saints Row the 3rd were an absolute ball ache to do. Not because they were difficult, but just because they were so boring and dull to do. But yeah, I would recommend people playing the game again. I love the Saints Row games. I love Saints Row 3. I love Saints Row 4. I love Saints Row 2. I even enjoy Get Out of Hell. I would recommend people going and playing them. But going for the platinum, again, it's not a hard platinum. Just be prepared to grind for quite some time if you're going to go for it. And the final and most recent platinum that I got, which was literally at the beginning of this year, after 4 years and 6 months, Fallout Shelter. My God, was this platinum torturous. Again, not a hard platinum to get, but I will tell you the 2 trophies that took me forever to get done and were an absolute ball ache, and that was overachiever much, complete 100 objectives, and get off my lawn, successfully stop 50 raider attacks. Now, if you want some advice, do not go over 30 dwellers in your shelter until you get this trophy, because it will come back to haunt you in the end. Basically, if you go past 30 settlers in your shelter, raider attacks become extremely rare and difficult to get. You have to basically just sit around and wait, and it took 3 days of me just sitting there for about 10 hours each day, letting my game play out until the raider attacks were done. It was awful. It was an awful grind that I did not enjoy. And the 100 objectives, again, that's not too bad. Some of the objectives are really, really easy, and you can kind of cheese some of the objectives as well. But yeah, this game, unless you are willing to torture yourself, do not go for the platinum. But I do recommend people play it, because it is kind of just a fun, idle game to play and chuck on in the background if you're not sure what to play. So, yeah, a fun one, and I recommend people going for it. And that's it. That's all 45 of my platinum trophies that I have. But you may be asking, James, what platinums are you going for currently? Let's get into it. So here's my trophy, or the games that I've been playing recently that I'm going maybe going for platinum on, or just playing in my spare time. But all the ones I'm going for platinum on are at the top currently. So we'll start with this one. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. A really easy platinum to get. It's just so tedious, and this is why it's taken me so long. I'm doing like it chapter by chapter, and it is I really like the story to Everybody's Gone to Rapture. I do. I really enjoy it. But dear God, the platinum is so boring. And what scares me is there is glitches and buggy trophies as well in this game. So I hope to God that I can do it in the 2 playthroughs that you need to do just to get the platinum. I will be doing a video on that one. Any of the games actually that I'll be talking about now, we'll be doing a video on. Saw, I'm going for the platinum in this, a very old game on the PS3. Personally, myself, I really enjoyed the first Saw game, despite the melee combat being absolute garbage. I really enjoyed the gameplay to it and everything. So yeah, I will be talking about that in a video as well, and I am going for platinum in that. Train station renovation, again, really easy platinum, but just very time consuming, takes a long time, a very grindy one, and the reason for that is there's basically a trophy for not buying any upgrades to the entire game and finishing it, and dear God, it is painful. Levels that should take you maybe 20 minutes take about 40, so yeah, I'm just kind of doing that in my spare time, but there'll be a video on that. Resident Evil 6, I am actually going to try and go for the platinum in this game. This is one of the harder ones that I'm currently going for. Basically, right now, what I'm working on is this one, in 150 different medals. Yeah, that's going to be a huge pain in the arse, and I'm hoping that I can get it done. But I've managed to finish the game on professional with a friend. We did it on stream. It was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that within the next 2-3 months, maybe I can get the platinum for this game as well. And the game that I am maining at the moment to go for platinum is Ghost of Tsushima. A very, very easy platinum. It's not hard at all. It just takes a bit of time. I will also be doing, like, you know, some of these stuff. I'll definitely be going to Iki Island. I'm definitely going to try out the Legends mode. But as you can see, I am doing the PS4 version. Yes, that is because I'm just going to port my save over and hopefully just be able to get an easy platinum as well on the PS5 version. So, I'm not going to lie, that is why I'm playing the PS4 version, but why not? The option's there. But I'm having a lot of fun currently playing this game. I'm having an absolute blast playing it. I'm taking my time with it. It's one of those things, I'm not someone that sits there and grinds out games for hours and hours on end. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing this game. I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to be able to jump into Legends mode and onto Iki Island. I'm almost done with the story now. I've almost finished it, and then I can just go off and start finishing off all the tales and side quests and the cleanup basically after it, which hopefully won't take me too long at all. So yeah, they're the games that I'm currently working on. And that is it. That's all 45 platinums that I've got and the games that I'm currently working on as well. Again, I really, really want to do this series. It's something that I'm quite passionate about, and I've really enjoyed the videos, again, from these channels that I've been watching. They're absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend you go and check them out. And yeah, I'm really excited to start a new series, like a new project kind of thing. Obviously, these videos aren't going to be coming out weekly. I don't have the time to just grind on one game because I stream as well. If you want to check out my streaming channel, link down below, and also there it is. I also have 2 channels as well. I have the VODs channel for all my streams, and I have the Gaming Geeks channel, which you're watching this on. So I also have a podcast that I do with a friend who we need to do a podcast this week at some point, so I've got to fit that in somewhere. But yeah, overall, I really want to try this. This is something I'm having a lot of fun with recently by getting it back into the grind of trying to get trophies and get platinums. And I'm having fun while doing it. And I think that's the main thing. If you're having fun with it, you're going to try and do it and have fun with it and enjoy it. So, yeah. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment. That's what this series is going to be. They're going to be very infrequent uploads, of course, because again, I'm not going to be able to just flat and get out a platinum very easily. But I also wanted to throw this idea out there, which I want you guys to get involved as well. I want you guys to maybe be able to vote on them. So maybe whether it's on my streams when I stream, or whether we do votes on the community page on YouTube. I want you guys to vote for once we hit every first of every 10 and every 6th of every 10, you guys will get to choose what kind of platinum I can go for. And when I say platinum, I mean crap platinums. So what we'll basically do is we'll go onto PSN profile, go onto home, and just look at all the newest games that have released, and if there's any kind of shovelware ones, I guess maybe we'll do them in one stream or something, and we can kind of go for that and see what happens. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and it kind of makes the series a little bit more interesting. It would allow me to basically be able to put out a couple of videos a little bit quicker as well, and I think just to have a bit of community stuff going on with this series as well, it'll make it more fun and more enjoyable. I do have one shovelware, or I guess it's shovelware game, I'm not too sure, one game that I am going to be doing, which is called Kawaii Slime Arena. It sounds absolutely awful. I mean, here it is. And I'm also going to be doing My Name is Mayo 3 as well. So I've got those 2 sorted already. So My Name is Mayo will be Neo 3 will probably be the first in this series that you're going to see, because obviously it's going to be my 46th platinum, sorry, and then obviously on my 51st platinum we'll be doing Kawaii Slime Arena, and then after that we'll have votes from you guys, and you guys can choose what games I can tackle and platinum. Yeah, but that's it for now, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope you have enjoyed me talking to you like this. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's kind of a cool little thing that I'm doing. It's kind of just a passion project thing. So if you are interested in throwing any game suggestions my way, leave them down in the comments below and maybe I'll check them out. Most of the time I'm going to be doing games that I want to play and platinum, bar the kind of crappy shovelware ones that we'll just do for fun and just make a funny video or stream out of it, you know. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my streaming channel and the other channels that I have as well, the podcast and the VODs channel. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye for now.